Okay, we are back. We are live. How's everyone doing today? Hope my mic is okay. Hopefully I can get a little confirmation that my mic isn't absolutely garbage this morning. Jay, what's going on? How you doing? It's good to see you. Good to see you. We got a pretty cool live today. I'm going to be going over a couple trade ideas. PA guys, we're going to be talking about TME. We're going to be talking about GSX. And then I'm going to go over the BYND idea from yesterday as well. I don't know. I had a bit of a brain fart yesterday. Couldn't remember what the ticker was, but we're going to go over that one again as well, just to touch up on it. And then we'll talk about CHWY earnings again quickly. Jenny, how are you doing? Arnold, what's up, man? Arnold, did you get in on TME? Did you hear about that one yet? So for those of you that might be new to the stream, my name is Sean Ryan. I'm one of the co-founders at Predicting Alpha here. And we run this stream every day, 30-minute session. We look at the market through a quantitative lens. I help you guys put numbers to our ideas so that we can find real trading opportunities, right? Things that we can have some real confidence behind and hopefully make some money. Exactly. So, potential bag alert, hashtag free alpha. That's the new PA hashtag, guys. We got to start using it. Jekka, what's up, man? We're going to be going over TME today. Hope you're ready for it. I already know you got your fills, so I know you're good. But yeah, guys, a couple trade ideas, right? But big thing that happened in recent times is, we all know about this liquidation that happened. I think his name is Bill, our buddy. Got super leveraged. Really cool story, actually, if you haven't looked into it. He turned like $20 million into $5 billion or something insane in a 10 or 15 year period. And then he was taking that, he was super leveraged up. He, leveraged it up to $80 billion and then he blew up. Right. And basically Bill Wang in the last week or so, this huge sell-off of Chinese companies, this is him getting liquidated. It is pretty much what all of this is. So a lot of the trade ideas we're going to be talking about today stem from this liquidation, right? That's really what drove our last trade on Disca earlier this week, where volatility jumped from 55% for the 1 year up to 65%, and then we wrote it back down to 55%. The whole gang is here. It's really good to see everyone. Even Thomas is here, man. How you doing, Thomas? PA roll call. Let's go. So trade number one that we're going to talk about. We talked about it last night on the live for the PA boys, and but we're going to talk about it here as well. So the trade is on TME, okay, or Tencent. Now, this isn't a trade that necessarily came about because of the terminal or anything. It was just a little opportunity that fell into our laps. Jordan and I are working away yesterday. Jordan gets a phone call from one of his friends who is in the industry. And he says, listen, I got word that somebody's come to Goldman and is asking them to put together this product for them, which would give them short vol on a bunch of these names involved in the liquidation. Right? Somebody wanted short vol exposure across all of these names. So what Goldman does is Goldman goes out, creates this product for them, sells the product to them, and then goes out and shorts a bunch of vol on these names. And, well, what happens is when Goldman comes out to short vol on all these names, there's huge sell pressure that comes into the market, right? Huge short vol pressure coming in. And you know how we talk about a lot of the times, we're looking for where retail's pumping up the volatility. Well, here's a situation where Goldman will be coming in and pushing down the volatility, right? And that's the hypothesis of this trade. So what do? Well, what we would hope to do here is get in before them, right? We have information that they're going to be trying to do this. With the size that they're moving, they can't just do it in 1 second. So we wanted to hop in before. And if it does happen the way that our little tip says that it will, we should see vols come down a huge amount here. So that is the trade, right? The trade on TME is to go out and short some vol, right? And what we're going to be shorting is, let's go over to TME here. What we're going to be shorting here is not the weekly, not the monthly. We're going to be coming out to Jan 2022, And the exact trade that I'm in right now is this 25 strike straddle. Exactly, Ned, from the grapevine. So this is the trade that we're in right now. Yeah, looks pretty good. Right. Positions printing a little bit already. You know, I got into this yesterday. And this is what you want to put on. And what we're expecting to happen is this. Let's refresh it. 1 second here. Have I already adjusted the vols? Okay, there we go. Set it to today. So what we're thinking is going to happen, vols are trading at 59% now, right? So we got in at around 63%. So we're thinking that vols are going to come down another 9 points here. So we're expecting the position to do this. And on a 10 lot, you'd make $1,400 bucks. Right now, if we're wrong, we think that vols could go up as high as 70. So from where we're at now, that would be plus 11. This is what your risk is looking like. When are we doing the live PA trade journal? It'll be in the future, Ned. You'll see. We've got a big release coming out this week. The free trial is going to be ready end of this week. New terminal launch, whole new onboarding, bunch of new videos. You know, a whole bunch of stuff's coming out this week, and then we'll see where we go from there. All the focus is on just making sure this week goes really well right now. So, any questions about this trade? Because if not, we're going to talk about another trade related to this. So, yeah. Exactly, Ned. It's not just for looks, man. It actually gets used. Terminal soon, guys. Terminal soon. Derek, have you gotten on the list for the free trial? I just want to confirm that you're on it, man. And we're going to move on from TME now, right? So this is a trade that I think is a really good one to put on. I'm in it right now. At least PA guys, you know, you don't have to go huge, but get some size on here, right? This is I would definitely say there's edge here, right? This is a good edge. So next trade, similar situation, or not GME, GSX. We're staying away from GME for a while, boys. Right? So we're looking at GSX here. Similar situation, vols just pumped up through the roof, right? We're looking to get some short vol exposure in the further date, right? We're at all-time highs right now. This is one of the stocks that was involved in the the liquidation as well. And sorry, Ned's got me cracking up here. He's like, forget a terminal. Where can I purchase my own Sean? You need this signal service? No, man. Not for sale. Derek, you just got to send me an email. I just put my email in there. Send me an email saying, can I get on the list? And I'll add you to the list. And I'm going to shoot you off an email later this week to get set up for it. All right. And we can chat over email as well. So what's the deal with GSX? So GSX had a huge move in recent times, right? Let's look at the last 1 month, right? It just got absolutely crushed, right? Just absolutely vanished. And what I think is driving a lot of this is it was probably heavily leveraged in that trade, that liquidation event that happened, and it just got destroyed, right? Way too much forced selling happening. Stock just vanishes. And basically, we think that vol's overpriced. So what we want to do is we want to come in here, sell this longer dated vol, and bet on it reverting back down. So we're going to come here to GSX, very similar trade to TME. We're going to come here, JN22, probably this time, maybe trade a little bit of positive deltas here. Or maybe we'll do delta 50. Shall we? Let's see. What's going on? Let's see. right? Something like this looks okay, right? And what we're trying to do here is we're betting on the level of vol changing. So look at what we're doing, right? We're trading the really far dated options here. So our break evens are super wide, right? We're not really too concerned about the stock running too much. Now, if it started to, we'd obviously either hedge our deltas or get out of the position. But what we're really thinking is going to happen is we think there's going to be a change in the level of implied vol, right? Maybe we see it come back down to the third quantile here or somewhere in between, right? So maybe we see it drop 30 points. And if that happened, this is what happens to our position. Or we wouldn't see it come down that much, actually. Maybe we'd see it come down 20 points. Right? And this is what our position would end up looking like. You're kidding me, Derek. That is unbelievable. Derek's telling us here he had a $90 put on GSX that he bought for $4, and it's worth $51 now. You have to be kidding me. Good job, man. Good job. Here's another trade. Roll some of that profits into this. Double dip on GSX, man. Right? Something like this, you know, if we looked at a one lot, right, you don't need to be betting 20 grand risk here or anything like that, right? Could look like this. Now, one thing to note as well is that vols are basically at the all-time highs for the further dated options. So we could see, you know, maybe another 10 points going up here. So our risk is really looking like this. You know, at inception, really small risk in terms of vol. You know, it's really direction, right? Let's say we see the stock run 30%. You know, we start taking on a bit of heat. If we see it drop 30%, you know, nothing really happens to us too much. So this is another trade idea where we're isolating. This is our Vega gang strategy, right? We're trying to trade that longer dated vol, trading that level of implied vol, really trying to capitalize on it. I think this is another really good trade. You know, rank 1 for the day is TME. Rank 2 is GSX. It's basically a quasi-arb. Exactly, Jekka. Okay, so what else, right? Maybe we can get some long vol, right? You know, with these longer dated vols, what's cool about it is it's not always a short vol trade, right? You know, we lean short vol a lot of the times, but here's an example of one where vols are super cheap in the longer date. Right? If we look at BYND here, you know, these longer dated vols, we can see trading well below, almost at all-time lows, right? 12 points above all-time lows, way below the first quantile. We could definitely buy some of the longer dated vol here. Ha, nice. I was muted there. My apologies. Yeah, so what I was basically saying is, Jekka, come on, say it, man. It's because I didn't have my coffee. We all know it. Yeah, that signal's never coming back, guys. If you missed it, it's too bad. Now, we're talking about BYND. Basically, I'm just saying, you know, we don't always need to be short vol in these longer dated ones. We can find cheap long dated vol, buy it, and if the level of implied vol increases into the future, we are going to make some money. So here's an example of that, right? BYND is trading at a really low level of implied vol in the longer dated, right? We're seeing it at 54% here. And what I did was I came over, opened up the, you know, looking at the dates here, looking at about the Jan 2022 expiry, and we're seeing, you know, pretty pricey vol here, or pretty cheap vol here, especially relative to where it could go, right? If we look at the median here, the median's at 66. We've seen it go as high as, you know, 89 in the back. So what we can do is we can come here, we can buy some of it. So Arnold, I would definitely just let it run, right? I would hedge my deltas as needed, but it wouldn't be like a gamma scalp. Like I wouldn't be looking at a daily hedging my deltas, because let's take a look here, right? Let's put on the trade. Say we buy a straddle. Right, look at how little our delta changes. Like, you know, it's like delta is such a small portion of this P&L. Right, look at this. Like if the stock were to rally 20%, we would have 300 delta and we'd have 1,000 Vega exposure. Right? Like pretty much in the near term, like nothing's going to happen that makes it worth scalping the gamma here. What we're really betting on is that change in implied vol, right? If we see the implied vol, let's see here. Right, if vols came up, let's say even 10 points, you make a ton of money, right? And that's what we're betting on. We're betting on this correction, right? The way that I think about it is when we're trading these longer dated vols, what we're really trading is the view of the future, right? What does, it doesn't really matter too much what happens today. It's about like, what does the market think about the trajectory of this stock? Is it going to continue to be volatile in the future? Is it going to, is it going to stay calm? These are the types of questions that we want to ask. If I drop another signal, you'll throw in the water. Then I'll have the beans, the machine, and the water. All I need is someone to pay my electricity bill now, and I'll actually be able to make some coffee. Thanks, guys. Chris, you were cracking me up there. It took a lot to keep a straight face and get through what I was trying to say. Eric saying, is a calendar a better option? So it really depends, right? Do you have a view on the forward vol? Do you have a view on the difference between the front and back months? Right? Sure, it is pretty flat right now, but what would you do? Would you be looking to sell the front, buy the back? Like I don't know if I have that view, so I probably wouldn't put that on. I would probably just be looking to maybe buy some of the back and bet on it. Implied vols coming back up. The hard part about being on that side of it is I don't really have a view on when it could happen. That's the one thing. Jekka, you're gonna have to explain this hawk thing to me. I don't get it. So, those are 3 of the trades for today, right? TME. That's like a best trade of the day, I'd say. Then we got GSX, also looking really good. Lots of room for vols to come down there, right? Lots of room. Let's go back over there for a second. Like, could you imagine if this thing came back to reasonable levels? Right, look at this. Like, could you imagine if vols even, like, imagine they came back down here to 116? Right, or let's look at the IV90, I guess. Right? Could you imagine they came back down to like 100? A 40-point drop in vols? That'd be absolutely insane. Right? It'd be absolutely insane. Right? If we saw, like, could you imagine? Huge trade. And then BYND. There's an opportunity to take the other side of that trade, right? Be long vol. Long vol exposure when we can get cheap long vol exposure. It's usually not a terrible idea. We just want to understand maybe why it's cheap, right? There's some more, I guess, qualitative research you'd want to do. You'd want to make sure that, because if you think about it, 53 implied vol is not necessarily like low. It's low relative to what we've seen before. So you just want to formulate an idea. Like, are we setting a new median here? Is this a new average volatility we should expect? Or do I think volatility will come back up? Right? The data is showing us that it should, but we want to do our research and make sure that we actually believe it will. Right? And that's why we always say, you can't just blindly follow the data. You need to have an opinion to start with as well, right? And then final trade of the day, we got a short vol opportunity on an earnings event. Looking at CHWY. Right, and it looks like vols came down a little bit. I believe it was over 10 earlier today or yesterday. But basically, it just looks like an opportunity to sell some vol around earnings. We usually don't see a huge move in this quarter. Not a ton of data to rely on for it, though. But the implied move is up there. It's at around 10%, right in line with what the average implied move has been historically. And we have an average realized move, what actually ends up happening around this stock, of about 5.8%. 5.74%. So looks pretty good to me. Let's take a look at what this trade will look like in the morning. Come over here to CHWY. This time we're not trading the further dated ones. We're going to actually trade the weekly. We're going to come here. Maybe let's do a straddle and an iron condor. Right, it's pretty pricey to be trading this though. Let's see here. Sell, straddle. Okay, we're looking at something like this. Let's fix the vols there. And so this is what the position is going to look like when we put it on. But then we need to adjust this to see what it's going to look like in the morning. So what we're going to do here is we're going to move the date forward 1. And we're going to adjust the vols using the numbers in the PA terminal. Vols look like they could come down about what? 40 points? Something like that, 35, 40 points. Let's drop them 35 points. Our position will look something like this in the morning, right? If we get a, if we see like a 4% move, right? Let's say we get, or what's the average implied move here? Let's see. Or the average actual move, 5.74% move. Let's say we get that. We'd be making, some pretty decent coin on this position. And then if we were to get, let's see what the biggest move has been historically. We've actually had no move bigger than what's being implied right now, which is great to see. Let's say we got a 15% move. What would the damage look like? We'll do it to the upside as well. And the damage would look like this, right? About down a 3.6K on 10 lots. So not a bad idea. I would be taking this for short vol, especially if you are trading earnings, spreading across a lot of events. It's almost a no-brainer to be taking this one. So, do we have any questions about the trades that we have looked at today? Or do you have a trade that you're looking at that you would like me to talk about? By the way, I know that ARCX came out today, right? So this new, ETF from Cathie Wood. I also know a lot of people are like, what the hell is this thing? How is this even a SpaceX, or a space exploration ETF? It's kind of a joke, right? And I agree. It's pretty whack. But there's definitely some trading opportunities that will come out of it. We're waiting for it to become optionable. And once it does, we're going to be doing some digging. Here's an idea to start with. Given that it's not just space stuff, I wonder what its overlap with other ETFs is. And I wonder if there might be a trading opportunity between ETFs, some sort of relative value play, given the underlyings that they hold. So that's one idea that I have. And then obviously, vols are probably going to be super, super bid around here. And we will want to probably be shorting it eventually once we get an idea of what's going on. But who knows? We'll see how it progresses. So do we have any questions, anything I can help with? If not, quick reminder, we're going to be launching the free trial of Predicting Alpha later this week. If you want to get on the free trial list, all you need to do is send me an email to sean@predictingalpha.com. Now, included in this free trial is obviously the terminal, a one-on-one call with us, all of our education, our community, our live workshops, the recordings of all of our live workshops, a ton of stuff. You get 2 weeks for free, and if you cancel in your first 2 weeks, you don't get billed. So give it a shot, right? And all you got to do is send me an email there. But if there's no questions, okay, so Chris is asking, why isn't VIAC as compelling as GSTME? So it is. It's another good one, right? Similar situation, exact same situation as them actually. It's just the ones that we chose to look at. Right, there's a whole bunch of them involved in that basket that we're talking about for Goldman as well. But yeah, you could definitely look at VIAC. Jenny's asking, did we want to do an Iron Condor with CHWY as well? Let's take a look. Right, so straddle was going for about $8. So let's say we did something like this. We'll structure this out quick for you. Exactly. Shout out to Arnold knowing what's up with the YouTube algos, helping me crack the code. Thanks, man. 64, I believe. Oh, lame. Okay. We can do something like this. I'd probably do something like this. Right? You're giving up 40 cents for wings. You know, obviously you're taking on risk here. You're still taking on risk, but you don't have that blowout potential anymore. Now, one thing to keep in mind is, you know, you do have a max loss on this trade of $1,200, right? So if that represents a large portion of your account, you want to be careful here. I probably wouldn't be taking it, right? One of the things to note about these earnings trades, while we have had probably the best earnings season ever, I think Hutch was telling us his win rate was like 80% this season, something absurd. The thing is that our edge is really only a few percent on this, right? In the long run, you could take a hit here. But yeah, Thomas, you can definitely do that. So Thomas is asking, for those of us without a bunch of margin, does it make sense to do these strangles with some long legs for protection / margin management? Yeah, for sure, man. That wouldn't be a problem at all. You probably want to pack on a bit more size, though, if you're going to do that, to be honest. Just because your edge is going to be smaller, right? Why is my phone blowing up? Put it on silent there. Yeah, you could definitely do it, man. We're, you know, yeah, we're some of the PA guys were actually asking about that. So Jordan's gonna be doing a little live on that later this week. How to manage them, whether you should buy wings or not, etc. All right. So if we have no more questions there, I'm gonna wrap up the stream. Fun live. It was a pleasure. Looking forward to the ones later this week. Make sure to drop that like on the video, everyone. It means a lot to me. And we will see you tomorrow. Take it easy.